Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show where we didn't prepare anything to open this with.
No, we didn't. I was going to do a cold open about fitting something all the way in my mouth, but I thought that might be inappropriate, so I didn't say it.
That was a wise decision, I think. I think. I guess jury's still out in there.
Until you actually said it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
We found it.
All right. So, well, what's new in the world of
The stuff we pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of tired.
Well, they announced the Battle Force boxes.
Oh, that's right. The Christmas Battle Force boxes
for Christmas time. We could take a quick peek at those, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe here in just a little bit.
We'll
let some trickling be done.
What'd you think of those, broadly speaking?
Broadly speaking, I think they're pretty good.
Okay.
There's a couple of them I'm pretty lukewarm on, but for the most part, I think they're pretty good.
I hate the World Eaters one.
Yeah, I mean, they did the same thing. So they've got Angron in there.
Yeah, that's
They
my
did
problem.
the same thing for Magnus and Mortarion last year.
Yeah, I know.
So which is why they put Angron in one this year.
I know. It just disincentivizes you from buying two. Like, you just want to buy one.
Sure.
Because that's where most of your discount is right
Well,
there.
also, like, it doesn't come with much else.
Yeah.
Like, you get a unit of Corn Berserkers and 8-bound, and
that's it.
That's the box.
Yeah. Well, I think Angron's $160. So, like.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on what. Characters can make boxes harder to sell. You're right about that. Depending on the character.
Yeah,
of course.
some characters are dual kit. So there's a Dark Angel character that's dual kit. It's like it can be the dude, or it can just be a captain.
Plus, he has a lot of customization options outside of that.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
he's got a bunch of options, which makes that cool.
Yeah, so it could be okay, but a big character like Angron, that's so much money. Is like, do I really want the same thing with Magnus? Magnus has a lot of customizable options, but like, do you really want two?
You never want two of those.
Yeah,
I mean, undertaking the painting project more than once.
Yeah, unless you really enjoy it. Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I'd enjoy it, but like, it's also in addition to enjoying it, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it'll keep you busy for a while, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, what do you think of the Marine one?
The Marine one is one that I'm pretty lukewarm on as well.
Yeah, me too.
Tim had a big studying he had to do tonight. He's got a big test in the morning, so.
Yep.
He's off doing other stuff.
Yeah. No, I wasn't a huge fan of the Marine one. I mean, if I wanted a bunch of jump pack dudes, I'd be like, sweet, because I think it comes with 3 squads of jump pack dudes and the captain.
Outriders and
Outriders
ATV.
and an ATV. But the only thing I really could use out of that box is the Outriders, like, because I only have 3 of them. So, like, maybe I want 6 of them. But I already own 3 ATVs. So it's like, I don't need another one. Like, literally, I don't need it.
Well, yeah, because you
can only run.
You can't squadron them anymore.
Nope. So I can only run 3.
Well, can't you add them to Outrider units?
Run 6.
Yeah, because you can add them to
could
Outriders.
run 6 technically. That's a lot of ATV.
Yeah,
that's probably not worth it.
You could also just sell off that one ATV. I mean, one ATV shouldn't deter you from getting the box.
You probably still
when you
have
need
a lot
everything else.
Yeah, you should. You probably. Yeah,
but also,
probably
like,
still get quite a bit
you
of
really
discount.
got to be steering into a lot of jump pack dudes.
Yeah, I wouldn't get it unless I was a dedicated White Scars or Blood Angel player. I wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
or Raven Guard maybe. Raven Guard probably a good fit.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Raven Guard would be.
But aside from those ones, I probably would steer clear from it. But so that's 2. What ones? There was a.
Okay. I mean, might as well look at them now.
Yeah, go ahead and pull them up, Tony. Go to Warhammer Community.
Good old Warcom.
Wacom.
Good news.
Wakama.
Already there. Wonderful.
Scroll. Stop.
On the left there.
Yep.
Up one more.
One more. Battle Forces. Perfect. 6 awesome boxed. Moved it.
Yep.
Tyranids was another one.
Yep.
Tyranids, Votan, what's Orcs
and Guard.
That was the other ones. Okay.
I mean, overall, I like the army selections.
Is that 2 Rogel Dorns?
It is 2 Rogel Dorns and just a bunch of infantry.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's neat. I would buy that one if I wanted to collect.
I don't know about 2 Dorns though.
You'd want 3.
You're right, but the thing is, like, well, that's another thing going to prevent you from buying 2.
2, yeah, it's true. Mm-hmm. These are your best value boxes. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I honestly I really
Barf on a
like
dog.
the look of the
Votan?
Votan one.
That one's not
The
bad.
Votan one, it comes with a battle fortress. It comes with whatever the moon rover guy over there is, and then just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Like it's
That's a good value.
Honestly, and this is one where you definitely would buy two because you'd
Yeah.
run two of all of this.
Yeah.
Like no problem.
Yeah.
Votan one's a great deal for anyone that wants to get into that army.
Yeah.
And then just a bunch
Orcs.
of Beast Snagga theme.
I'd buy two of this one too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, because you would run that you would run more than one of the big hero guy, because they have the named character one and they have a non-named one.
You mean the war boss on the Squigosaur?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the guy.
The Squigosaur. Yeah, and then they've got the named guy as well. No, that the orcs are actually doing really well, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know
Those
orcs.
Squig Hog boys, they're super good.
Yeah, no, I was making when 10th first came out, I was making orc lists, and I was like, man, these look really fun. Like, I contemplate buying orcs just to run this list, but no. I got another demons idea that I kind of want to do that I'm holding back on. That could be my sub-third collection, maybe. Just minimum, just a little one, nothing huge. But go ahead and scroll down. The Cadian Defense Force. So that's 2 Rogaldorns.
It looks like, is that 2 units of infantry and a command
It's hard
squad?
to tell, but yeah, I think that's correct. That's where your banner comes from.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's pretty neat. I would get that as well. I don't know, like you said, I don't know if I'd buy 2, because you don't want that 4th Rogaldorn.
I would, like, a whole Rogaldorn would prohibit me from buying a second one. Like, that's a much different price point than an ATV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But still, very, very good value.
Yeah,
Because
those
those Dorns are expensive.
Yeah, they are expensive. I do like the fact that they take some of those big expensive models and throw them into these battle forces and give you a decent price point to buy them.
Honestly, at this price point that these boxes traditionally are every year,
About 200.
you're basically just getting a bunch of dudes for free.
Exactly.
Because you're paying for 2 Rogaldorns and you're just getting a bunch of dudes tacked
Or I mean, it's all relative, right? So you can you can dissect it however you want in your head. You can be getting a Rogaldorn and some dudes, and then a whole nother Rogaldorn for free.
Or you get like the Rogaldorn, a bunch of dudes, and then like the chassis of a Rogaldorn, but you're getting the turret for free.
That sounds worse. That sounds way worse.
Okay, the command squad's also free.
Okay, that's
there you
a little
go.
Better. I just still don't like that though.
Nope, you shouldn't, because there's nothing to like there.
I don't want to buy those things separately.
And then down next is the Space Marine Spearhead Force we were talking about.
Spearhead.
Tony. Yeah, we talked about the Spearhead. So honestly, I really like the Captain and Jump Pack. It's a very cool model.
Yeah, it's a cool model. I wish I had more utility for some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like just with my play style and the army I collect for Space Marines, it's like, yeah, all that stuff's really cool. Play Dark Angels. None of my stuff is ever going to be really centered around any of that stuff.
I guess really because you can build them in whatever detachment you want.
I can run them in whatever detachment I want, but I just won't. You know what I mean? I just won't. So like, maybe sometime in the future, maybe I will. But currently, with funds the way they are and with how expensive this hobby's becoming, it's just hard to spread out like that for now.
Sure.
So, but it's not terrible.
Now the Tyranid box.
The Tyranid one.
The Tyranid box I actually really liked. So the Norn Emissary, awesome that they're including the new model. Which, granted, all these Hormagaunts you're getting are also all new sculpts.
Oh, cool.
And there's
those Termagants?
It's 40 Hormagaunts.
What?
Yeah. Or is that 20?
I would think 20. 40 seems like quite a lot.
40 seems like... No, I'm sorry. Those are Gene Stealers. On the
okay, that's what those are, Gene Stealers.
Gene Stealers, 20 Hormagaunts, a Hive Tyrant, which, I mean... If you're getting into
Tyranids, you
need a Hive Tyrant, and honestly,
at least one.
you could buy 3 of these.
Yeah,
you really could.
Yeah.
You need all those Hormagaunts. You need all those
emissaries. The emissaries dual kit too.
Yeah, so you can have 6 of those. You need a Hive Tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
You need a Swarm Lord. Mm-hmm. Like
no, that's true too. You can build a Swarm Lord.
Honestly, you could buy this box more than 3 times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Whether you want to or not, that's a different conversation.
It's 20.
But
you can fit 20 gaunts in a unit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go more than 3 because then you've got extra gaunts and that's not what you want. But that's not dual kit with Termagants, is it?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, I wouldn't do that. But So 3.
But yeah, three you absolutely could, because those new Norn emissaries, they're awesome.
Yeah,
they're too expensive, but they're awesome. And everything in here except for the Flying Hive Tyrant is a new sculpt.
Yeah.
Things that you probably don't already have.
The Gene Stealers are new
sculpts? Yeah, new Gene Stealers, new Hormigons.
That's right. They are new sculpts. Scroll. And then this is the worst one.
See, I disagree. If you don't have Angron yet, you want the box.
Everyone who's collected World Eaters has. So this is great for new.
But this is great for someone who's getting into World Eaters. Honestly, that's what most of the battle forces really are. Yeah. They're geared toward people. It's like, hey, this is the opportunity to start that new army.
Yeah, that's true.
And honestly, I sat here and I looked at this box and I thought about it.
I thought about it too. I really like World Eaters. They're so cool.
Honestly, like
I love it.
I want to paint them more than I want to play them. Like I love painting that cherry red.
Yeah, no, I like the Khorne stuff is always really cool. So my idea for demons is a little different though, because I came up with my idea for start. I want to make a Be'lakor demons army, so I'm get like a Lord of Change and like a Bloodthirster, but I'm gonna paint them black and gray like Be'lakor. I thought that'd look really cool on those models. But yeah, no, so that'd like be
they're unbound, like, or not
they're shadow, so they're in like if you know Be'lakor, like the darkness and stuff. So like they're in his void. But yeah, so, and then like all the other stuff too, like bloodletters but black, horrors but black. You know, it might get a little complicated when pink and
Nathan, have you ever painted anything? He says he envies finding joy in painting, but I genuinely don't know if I've ever heard that he's painted any. He's painted 6 models. Okay, all right. Well, that's something.
That's a Blood Bowl team in my book.
And does he understand joy?
I hate you. I know you're close. Okay, that's also another question. That's in fact that might be a more important question.
What?
Does he understand joy? I don't know if his firmware has that update or not. Yes. Paint more. Paint through the sadness.
Yeah, I got to finish my Marines here, and then I'm gonna be switching over to Chaos Marines.
You're basically gonna have like a sergeant in every squad that's unpainted
for my Marines.
Yeah,
basically.
I think that's all of those. There are some Sigmar boxes that I'd like to look at, just to show them off, because the value in some of those is better than the 40K ones.
Yeah.
Scroll down, Tony, but I think that's all on this page. Okay, so go back real quick, because next one over. Yep, you're on right there.
Yep.
That one.
Yep, the Sigmar Battle Forces. 4 of these ones. So the first one was the Lizardmen. Oh my God,
that's new Lizardmen stuff.
Yeah, they're
okay. That's cool.
These models are so good.
That's cool
too. They
new
really,
Sauruses
really
and
dude, the new Sauruses. They're some of the best models.
The Toad Queen.
The Toad Queen.
Isn't that who that is?
Lord Croak.
What's the female equivalent to Lord? Is that it's not like a Lord.
I mean, it's lady, right?
Oh, it is lady. Yes, it is lady.
I was
Lord and lady.
I was thinking Duchess, but I was like,
no, that'd be Duke and Duchess.
Yeah, I know. I was like, no, that's not right.
No,
that sounds dumb. Just keep painting until you're happy. All right, let's go ahead and scroll down. I always love these.
Are these the Bone Daddies?
Okay. Yeah, dude, the Bone Daddies.
I love the Bone Daddies. If I was to do Sigmar, I'd do Bone Daddies.
Oh God, I love them. I've wanted to collect this army for such a long time.
Yeah, me too.
Honestly, if I just had infinite time and money, if only. I would just be like, hey Ted, how'd you feel about coming out of retirement?
Dude, if I had infinite time and money, I'd have like a gold tooth and a clock around my neck.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember?
Yeah, no, it's Flavor Flav, and I was kind of trying to think of like a Bradley Brad.
Bradley Brad. You remember his TV show? Finding Love or whatever?
Yeah, no. Is it Flavor Flav Finds Love?
It's something like that.
Or Finding Love with Flavor Flav?
Dating Flavor Flav.
Grandmaster Brad. I hate that. That gives him too much credit.
Drinking his gravy grave.
Gravy grave. Oh, my Lord. I feel like Snooki was on one of those shows.
Probably. Hopefully she's disappeared into the void as well. I don't need anybody from
the Dark Lord has accepted her home.
The flavor of love.
Flavor of love. That's what it was called.
I said find in love with Flavor Flav. I wasn't super far off. All right, go ahead and scroll down. And of course, the obligatory
Chaos Collection.
Chaos Collection, because they're going to hit one for each of the Grand Alliances.
I like the Chaos stuff, too. A lot of it's just really old, though, too.
The Slaves to Darkness, they went back and they redid that whole.
Oh, did they?
That whole little range.
Because I like the Slaves of Darkness.
It's the only problem with Slaves to Darkness is that the range isn't big enough. I know Snooki was Jersey Shore. I thought she appeared on some other godforsaken reality show.
No, probably.
God, the Jersey Shore was terrible.
Yeah, well, it's because it's
Tim and Krista were obsessed.
Oh, I know, I remember.
I hate it.
I remember. It's because it's about people who live in New Jersey, and I don't think you've ever been to New Jersey.
Thank God.
But it's like one of the worst states ever. Like they don't even let you pump your own gas in New Jersey.
Well, there's a few states like that.
They don't let you?
Yeah, you're not allowed to pump your own gas. Like you pull up to a gas station, and there's a guy out there, and he's like I had no idea. I was just driving through New Jersey, and I stopped and get gas.
It's like, hi guys, I'm Charles.
Mm-hmm. And I hopped out. And he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I need gas." I'm gonna get myself. He's like, "No, I got that." I'm like,
I got that.
I'm like, oh, okay.
What up, Nurgle Matt?
But yeah, it's an awful place. Like there, my buddy who lived up there when I was visiting, he told me about the story about like at a club, like somebody like got stabbed with a needle, and now they got AIDS. Like someone just came up and stabbed them with an AIDS needle.
That sounds.
And now they got AIDS.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's awful. Like,
Nurgle Matt could have joined at a better time. Go ahead and scroll down to the last one here, where we got more undead. Oh, so they didn't have a destruction box.
Are these vampires?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vampires.
Yeah, I still like the Bone Daddies.
Oh, I do too.
I like Chaos too. I'm partial to Chaos.
I really like this like hero model in the middle. Yeah. This dude, Vampire Daddy. But I'm all about the Bone Reapers.
OCR Bone Reapers or whatever the hell they're called.
Absolutely.
Do they have any like giant models? Oh, they got a big bone dragon, don't they? That's Flavor Flav. Is that Flavor Flav with Snooki?
Yeah.
I'm super upset.
I knew it. I knew it existed somewhere.
It's just a picture of them on Instagram. I don't know if they did anything together, but they met each other.
Oh, something happened.
I mean,
you don't spend time in a room with Flavor Flav and nothing happened.
Are you speaking from experience?
Maybe.
I don't want to talk about it. I signed an NDA.
Oh God. Oh no. Oh, but yeah, so not too bad going on the Battle Force ends for this Christmas.
No, I think Battle Force is pretty exciting. I don't think there were any other announcements that we missed since last week.
No, unfortunately Tim is still waiting for his Space Marine shipment to come in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, that was just over a year ago, so it was a substantial amount of time after any of them were relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That makes
I think you just did, Tim. So Tim wants us to mention the Blood Bowl sign-up sheet in the store. So we have a Blood Bowl sign-up sheet in the store. We're going to be trying. Yep, he just posted. He just said the league starts in a few weeks, so we're going to be try to be getting kickoff down in a few weeks. Do you know what team you're playing? You playing Vamps?
I don't know.
You should paint them all up like Edwards Cullens.
I mean, they're all vampires, so that's pretty easy.
Put some glitter on them.
Oh God. I hate that. Because the thing is that the glitter will only shine in the light.
It's ironic.
Oh, I hate that so much.
Ironic.
I've never hated anything more.
But yeah.
Okay. So realistically, because of how new vampires are, if there's 2 other vampire players, I won't do it.
Okay.
I'll stick to Dark Elves. So Dark Elves are probably what's gonna be going.
Okay.
I'm already playing a Bash team in my Fumble League, so let's go something.
I'm gonna be eating
a little swifty.
I'm gonna be eating some corn. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with some corn on the cob.
I'm gonna be forcing some people to eat some corn too.
Yep. Canned corn.
I'm gonna be like shoving corn in their face.
Yep.
Like eat this.
Did you ever see that picture of the corn team? That was just all like corn.
No.
Like they had like big buff corn on the cob dudes.
That sounds upsetting.
It was ridiculous.
That sounds upsetting.
And then like the linemen were all like little stalks.
Mm-hmm.
And everything, and it was phenomenal.
Yep, and this is our Premier League, so just like every other time, this is the fresh team.
Fresh team.
So no redraft. We skipped the redraft, and we're just going fresh team. And yeah, that's the wrong button, Brad. You shouldn't press that button. There we go. So yeah, you're sticking with Dark Elves.
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly think it's the right choice. I think a lot of people are going to be picking up Vamps. I imagine Eli probably will. Nathan probably will. Campbell might even do it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So like, although I haven't seen Campbell in quite some time, he needs to make an appearance. Blood Bowl might be the time for him to make an appearance.
It might be.
So hopefully that's the thing. And I know we've discussed it. I don't know if we discussed it on the show or not, but I think my starting roster, I'm doing the Blood Spawn.
You did discuss that before.
Yeah. I think
you were sacrificing 2 Bloodseekers for it, though, and I don't know if I'm here for that, man. That's a lot to give up, but I get where you're coming from, and I see your logic. I just don't think I can do it.
4 of them at the same time. You can't do it.
I know, but I don't think it's even so much about developing them as it is board presence.
Yeah, they need to be on the table.
And
I get
what
it.
they do, because that team is so heavily reliant on I am stronger than you
and pushing people around.
Yes.
No, I will probably struggle against like lizards. Could be an issue because of their mass amounts of strength 4, and if I'm missing 2 Bloodseekers, that could be a problem. However, if you do the math on it, I'm only missing 1 strength above 3 player. Because instead of
see the math you're trying to do there.
Instead of 4 Bloodseekers, it's 2 and a Blood Spawn.
The Blood Spawn just can't pick up one of his strength and put it somewhere else, though.
That's why it's 1, right? That's why it's only 1. So I'm down 1 higher strength player. Right, I'm down 1.
Ogres would also be a problem for that corn team. You're right, but
I think I would actually do pretty well against ogres.
I think ogres would they would find your linemen and they will just
they're gonna do that anyway.
They do bad stuff to them.
They're gonna do that anyway. 1 blood,
and I think you lose a lot of ability to fight them when you're missing those 2 strength 4 players.
I think the blood. I disagree. I think the blood spawn actually gives me a greater ability to fight them.
I mean, it gives you a hammer in which to hit them with. You're absolutely right, and it's very effective.
But against ogres, that is super important. Like, and I'm 3-die blocking all their other players with frenzy. Like,
oh yeah, I mean that's great.
I don't really.
When you have frenzy, your ability to cream pie Noblars goes up substantially.
Why'd you have to put it that way? Don't put it that way.
I couldn't help it.
But yeah, so I think
they're little SPP pinatas, and they deserve everything that happens to them.
Basically. But yeah, the blood spawn is AV9. That is a downside. Yes. Hopefully he's not in a position to be blocked all that much. I'm going to do my very best to keep him from being punched, because that could be a problem. However, but one of the reasons I am starting with him is to try to pile SPP on him as quick as possible so I can feed him block for his first level up. Because like if you don't start with him, your ability to get block gets basically lower and lower the more games you go without. And I think a blood spawn with block in the playoffs would be
bueno.
Yeah, it'd just be great.
My blood spawn, I always name him Blarf, and he always shits the bed. All the time. My last one was a superstar. He had the bulk, he had the majority of my removals. He had more than double my next player's casualties. My very best,
he was very good.
My very best blood spawn I've ever had. He had block, guard, tentacles, and stand firm.
That's not bad.
Oh, he was such a chunky boy, and I had a no skill Yeti blitz him on 1 die
and kill him,
and he died.
Oh no! My team's gonna need our pot.
He ran up to him. He rolled a POW, killed him, I apothecaried, and he was still dead.
Oh, you bratted. That hasn't happened in a while.
Blarf did perform the one time I needed him to. You're absolutely right. If you're referring to that epic chain push I had.
So here's the other question, though.
Which I think it was still a 1-die.
I think I can do it. I can do it. Do you think 11 players and 3 rerolls or 12 and 2?
I think 12 and 2.
That'll put me with
personally, because you're going to have more linemen than the other build, which means you have a lot more liabilities.
That's true. I have more players that can be removed. That is true.
Now, granted, I mean 3 rerolls on Khorne is important.
Yeah.
So it depends on if you want to perform better in the early league or the later league.
Well, removals in early league are harder to perform, generally speaking, because there's less developed
How many Khorne Gords do you get? You get all 4?
2.
You can get 2?
I get 2.
Oh, God. Oh, there's so many linemen on this team.
There's 6. If I stick with 11, it's starting 6.
That is so many. Oh, God.
They get I gotta put them on the line too. Damn it! Fuck, they get punched. I hate this team.
They're gonna get disemboweled. A lot.
I hate this team. Yeah. So, no, I don't know. I want to try it.
All right.
I want to try it.
All right.
I remember playing. We played this starting roster because this is our record. You've never beaten me outside of league play, and I've never beaten you inside of league play.
Have you really never beaten me in a league game?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever beaten you. We might have tied, but I don't think I've ever beaten you.
Okay, that's fair.
And same thing out of league.
Because
I know we've tied out of league play, but I know you've also never beaten me. But I've played you with this 6 linemen. I don't remember what you were playing.
Do you remember when we played? It was my humans against, or was it humans? We played in your basement.
It was dwarves.
Was it you were dwarves?
Tied.
Was I humans or was I chaos? I think I was humans.
I don't remember. You might have been humans.
We tied.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember jumping over one of your down players with a runner. But yeah, we tied.
Got it.
Yeah, it was right. It was shortly.
So then, if you jumped over a player, then it'd be chaos because you couldn't do that when I played humans. I haven't played humans in 2020.
Why couldn't I do that if you played humans?
Because I only played humans in 2016, and you couldn't jump over players then.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it was chaos. That was a league game. No, that wasn't a league game. That was a regular game.
Was there beer involved?
Possibly.
Almost certainly.
Probably, yeah.
I think it should be mandatory. You have to have at least 2 beers before you sit down for a game of Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I would like to make Blood Bowl a little bit more casual. I think that's how it's supposed to be played. And
dude, that's why I love the Underworld tournament so much, because everyone's drinking the entire time.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know, that's why I'm going back to Khorne. It's I feel like playing Khorne is just fun. I'm less concerned about winning, and I'm more concerned about I just want to punch you in the face.
I just want to. I want to go through the. I want to explore some of the unique builds for vampires, because all of those players are so unique.
Yeah.
The vampires, obviously.
Yeah.
Because their skill compositions and their stats, no one else has those pairings, and it's just cool.
So you're suggesting I start with 7 linemen?
No. Now that I know you only have the 2 Khorne Gords, I think you go the 11 players, 3 rerolls.
And then I need to buy some Khorne Gords.
Every dime you get goes into getting positionals.
Yes, that was the idea.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm starting because my other build is 4 Seekers, 2 Khorne Gords. I think 6 linemen, 2 rerolls. I think is how.
Because linemen are going to start getting their arms pulled off.
Right, and I need players to replace them. But the way this is designed is I'm not replacing linemen with linemen. I'm replacing linemen with positions.
Yeah.
Because eventually I get down to the point where I'm only putting 2 on the field. Because 4 of them are going to get replaced, putting me back to 2. So I'll probably have 3 on the team. But like you said, they're going to start getting their arms pulled out of their sockets. So I'm going to need dudes. So yeah, and this will stop me from having to purchase linemen, and I get to purchase more meaningful players, and it saves me gold in the long run, so long as no Seekers, Khorne Gords, or Bloodspawn dies.
I was about to say Bloodspawn if you didn't add that on at the end, because it's also a very strong possibility.
Yeah,
you need that apothecary too.
Yeah,
especially starting.
First purchase. Okay,
that's
first purchase.
It needs to be.
Yeah, it's first purchase because if he dies in my first game. I'll probably drop the league. I would be so sad. I'm like 160,000 gold player. I'm down.
So we have a rule in the Fumble League where if you get to a point where your team has been like so utterly eviscerated, you can basically just hit the reset button to where you start from your beginning roster again. You just lose all of the wins that you accumulated along the way. So this is ideally something that happens week 1 or week 2.
I see. Okay.
So I that game I played against the Lizardman coach,
yes,
that I told you about, where I got my face pushed in.
You hit the reset button.
No. He had before that.
Oh.
So
okay.
in his first game, he had a Saurus get niggled, and his block Croxagore died in his first game. So he was coming into the game against me with 4 Saurus and a bunch of no skill skanks.
Yeah, see, in my first ever league, I was down. I lost, I think, 2 players. I lost a strength 4 guy. I was playing Chaos. I lost a strength 4 guy, and I lost a goat. Like in my first game.
Yeah.
So it's like I got to play the rest of the season like this. This is miserable.
Yeah, I would be pretty in favor of bringing that up.
I think it's a good idea
to see if like that way your first or second game doesn't just completely.
Yeah, exactly. Jake Campbell lost. That's a great idea. I'm okay with that. Jake Campbell lost 200K in his first game with Andy in the last Premier League. Yeah, exactly. Blitzer and runner. See, there you go. So that's a perfect. I think it's a fantastic idea. You can just go You just go back to your starting roster and you
go back to your starting roster.
And
now,
you lose all your wins.
Of course. So if you win your first game, but then in your second game, you 3 important players die, you can throw your win out, but you get all your players back. So that way you have a chance going forward.
Do you lose all your gold too?
I would say you just hit the reset button. It's like week 1 all over.
Okay,
again.
so you just go back to whatever you had.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a good idea. All right, we'll have to come up with a creative name for it, but we'll do it, make it thematic. But yes, I like it. And so it just stays a rule throughout the entire league, but it's a pretty devastating later and later.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you're
you're
doing this in week 4 or 5, then I mean you're probably not going anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So which is, but again, like you can also like, well, hey, I'm not going to make it, but I don't want to drop out because this next game is going to be miserable. Let me just reset so I can play my games. I mean. Again, not something you want to be doing, but
you could also be thinking towards the future too if you wanted to redraft any of those players. So like, well, crap, one of my most important players died. I probably won't make the playoffs anyway. So you hit the reset button, and now you can keep playing, keep earning SPP on players that you might be redrafting.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also like. You're when you hit reset, like I would assume all your SPP goes away too. Like
no, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. But like, not like if one of those players died, though, one of those developed players died, and you're not going to make playoffs, or you might not win any playoff games without that player. So yeah, you just do that. You can farm out SPP on another. Basically, you get some SPP games in against against your next opponents in mind for redraft. Mm-hmm. So you could just do that.
Yeah, I think
it's a good idea.
I like the idea because it prevents your entire league from being destroyed so early.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. That's a good idea. I think we can go with that because I ran into that problem with a few teams. Dwarves ran into that problem with where like because dwarf players are expensive. So like when you lose a runner early on, and it's like, how am I gonna pick up the ball? Like. My next fastest player is movement 5.
I'm slower, weaker Tomb Kings.
Yeah, exactly. It's miserable. So like you gotta do something about it. But yeah, no, I like that idea. I think we'll bring it up. Are we gonna have a Blood Bowl meeting here soon? We need to.
We probably should. I don't know if there's a whole lot that needs to be addressed because
it's been a while.
In a pretty decent state right now.
Yeah, it's not in a bad spot. I don't know. We're gonna have to go over rules. I would really consider getting rid of mercenaries.
Well, I would be very in favor of that.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they bring anything positive.
I've got my cow man. So if we don't, I'm making the cow man murder some people. But yeah,
cow man.
Yeah,
I mean, Bloodspawn's basically the cow man.
Yeah, I have, and then I have 2 of them on the team.
Okay, yeah, well,
that's the idea. I have 2 Bloodspawns on my team.
I've tried it, but like. With both of them having not animal savagery, Unchanneled Fury, and like with both of them needing to be punching to activate reliably, That's the problem I ran into.
It's a good backup. Mm-hmm. It's a nice backup. So if you can't hit with one, typically you can hit with the other. That's what makes it nice. The first time I used it, every time my Minotaur activated, you got a removal. It was either KO or casualty.
Just the problem I started running into, because I had the Bloodspawn and Scylla, is that eventually both of them were not in a tackle zone. And then I couldn't get them to tackle zones.
You couldn't get both of them to tackle zones, right? That's not necessarily in a place.
Or sometimes I'd drop a 1 on my blitz, and then they'd both be like,
yeah. I mean, that stuff like that is inevitably going to happen. But when you're just going for straight removal, it's an awesome idea. But if you could have both at once, you'd be in a sorry state, Brad. What do you mean?
Blood. Highlight.
But yeah.
That's one sweet wolf.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we'll keep we'll keep that going. We'll have to sit down and talk with everyone, see what rules. We have a document with all the rules in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have to read it over again and see if we want to change anything. Maybe we'll meet somewhere and talk about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'd be down and get this figured out, get the season kicked off and play some games. I'm hoping for like a shorter season this season too. I'm hoping for like 8 weeks. Let's play like an 8-week season.
I'm okay with 8 weeks of main.
Yeah.
And then cut to playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, but yeah, because that would give us 16 players. And the more the game gets filled with SPP, the less I enjoy it. So like I would like a shorter season with maybe we don't you don't get to play 20 games in a season and get to redraft those players. Mm-hmm. So I think that'd be okay. Be nice.
I think I definitely played 20 games in a season once.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You go into playoff games.
Like between like the Sammy and all the friendlies and every. Oh God.
Yeah, we've done more than that.
Oof.
We have 3 games in a Sammy for the mid-season tournament. Mm-hmm. I think there was a 12-week season, so that's 15. Playoffs were 3 weeks, 4 weeks, right in there. That's close to 20 right there. But yeah, no, it's just a lot of Blood Bowl, and I think it's burning people out. It's definitely burning me out. So I think shorter seasons would keep people interested. I know I wouldn't lose interest as fast if the seasons were shorter.
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
It 2 months worth of games.
It is a lot to commit to as well.
And then maybe a month of playoffs, and then that's it.
But like, I think 8 to 10 games of regular season, and then cut to playoffs.
I wouldn't want any more than that. Yeah, 10,
I think we've done. Haven't we gone to like week 12 before?
Yes,
we have.
Yes.
Yeah, I think 10 is a pretty good number.
Yeah. Like I would like to try an 8-week season. Mm-hmm. Just to see how the shorter season feels, especially when it comes to developing players. Because now you're really it'll feel more like a tournament. Because I've never really struggled. I knew with especially with my Amazons, I never struggled to get players, to get the skills on the players that I needed. Mm-hmm. But I think if we played shorter seasons, I think SPP would be a little bit more sparse. And I think you would see some not quite 100% teams, and people would actually have to make strategic decisions on kind of how they want to develop a team.
Mm-hmm. I would try 7s. I've heard multiple people say they'd like to try 7s.
I don't know.
Adam said he would. I know Eli would play 7s.
Well, it's just a shorter board with less players, right?
Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, it's a narrower board. The board is just the same length.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And you don't set up on the line.
Yeah, that's the biggest difference. That
so you don't get those blocks right away.
You set up multiple squares away from each other.
Yeah, that could be interesting. That might be a better game, because that's one of the problems in Blood Bowl is those initial blocks.
Also, like you don't have rerolls or skills.
Oh really?
Well, yeah, you're not going to have team rerolls, like because of how crazy expensive they are.
Okay.
And then, I mean, you might have 2 or 3 skills, maybe.
Okay.
Depending. So like,
what are the?
So block is rare.
Okay. The Cranium Kleptos. I forgot that was my Blood Bowl team. The Cranium Kleptos.
Yeah. So like literally, you drop a 1 at some point, and there you go. Your turn's over.
That's nuts. So the Cranium Kleptos will be making a return. Do they have all the teams for sevens?
Yeah, no, everything can be played in sevens.
Really?
Sevens is literally you have 600K gold cap instead of $1 million, and you have to have a minimum of 7 players.
Are the rosters altered at all?
Nope, they're all the same.
Even the player
costs? Yep.
What about how much do the teams cost?
What do you mean?
How much are the teams?
So
how much gold do you get to draft?
600K instead of $1 million.
Okay, 600K instead of $1 million. Okay.
Yeah.
And all oh my God, you could just play against an entire team of ogres.
Probably
not though.
No, because you're not going to get to 7 ogres.
They're not going to have the gold to do it. Okay.
You can you'll probably come up against. Would that be 5 ogres and then some snotlings?
You wouldn't even get 5.
Well, because wait, no, they're 150, aren't they? So yeah. no, it'd be 4.
3 or 4, and then snotlings. Yeah, you'd only get a few. It would definitely be interesting. Like I said,
then like you're not re-rolling boneheads. You're not, any of that stuff.
It sounds like it makes Bash a lot less powerful, simply because they don't get those initial blocks on the line.
I mean, you're also like there's no Mighty Blow anywhere.
Really?
Well, like,
don't you get access to the same? It's the same roster, right?
Yeah, but like it's not that there's literally no Mighty Blow. It's that like. Teams aren't like leveling up and getting all that Mighty Blow so much, or like as fast, I should say.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
3 ogres is the most you could have and get 7 players. Is it? I see. It just seems pretty low. So that's 450. Or no, are they 160? Aren't they? I don't know. It's in that neighborhood.
And it's 7 players. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, obviously because 4 would be 400 or 600K right there. So yeah, obvious. Math is hard.
Okay. Yeah, it could be interesting.
Also, when you're getting if you buy a team reroll, you don't cut the price in half. So like, there's no way you're fitting 100K reroll.
Oh, they're 100. They're full price.
Yeah, they're full price rerolls.
Oh man, you're really not.
Sevens is interesting.
That is interesting.
Sevens is like it's way faster because I mean first and foremost you have less players, but there's no rerolls unless you have like a witch elf that comes with dodge. It's like you roll a 1 and all right, cool.
Okay.
I would play sevens. I would.
That might be a better game. That might be.
I don't know about a better game, but it's definitely a different way to play.
Sevens. That's 600K. Yeah, rerolls. You said so. It's no half cost. Wow. Yeah, you're not getting much. You're really not getting much out of your positionals either. Whew. Yeah. Do you think? Oh yeah, you got to start with 1 reroll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be hard to get.
Oh well, I mean, I don't think most teams wouldn't be able to fit 1.
Yeah, they get 7 players.
I mean, think about elves.
Yeah, not without some sort of massive amounts of linemen. What else? Your 2 ward answers, linemen, and then rerolls. If you have the gold, I don't even know if you have the gold for that.
Oh God, no! You're not going to be able to because the
5 times 7 is 3,500. Ward answers
125.
125. So that's 2,500. So that's
7 players. That's 5 linemen, 2 ward answers. That's 600 on the nose.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah, I mean you're not getting rerolls. You're just not.
I mean they don't really at 7s. They probably don't need to start with them because they're 2 pluses and block and dodge. So
I don't even know if like you get SPP and everything in League.
Really?
I don't. I mean I assume you probably do.
I'd probably down to play 7s.
I've never looked at League format for 7s before.
I might enjoy 7s more.
So I mean, like I said, the length of the board's identical. It's just you take 2 squares off the side zones.
Ooh, that could make corn very interesting. All the frenzy.
And when you set up on the line, it's you're not in the middle. You take 3 squares back on each side, and you set up there. Okay. So you don't start off in base contact. You've got.
I like that. I don't like the starting. One of the things I don't like is the starting starting next to each other like that. I think that gives. I think that gives an unfair advantage to whoever's going first.
For something like sevens, it would definitely be a big problem.
Yeah, exactly. I really don't like how that. It's one of the things I would change in regular Blood Bowl.
It also has a unique kickoff table.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have those wonderful, awesome Nuffle rolls that we all love?
I mean, probably.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hard to imagine a world without them.
Same amount of inducements? Like same inducements?
I assume so, but like I said, I've never looked at league format for sevens.
Okay.
So I would have to assume.
Okay. Huh. Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I'd probably play humans. I think humans would do well in sevens.
I would play Corn.
Yeah.
I'd play Corn. I think I would take my current build for my team, and I think my current 11-man team would actually be better in sevens. Now that I think about it. Because then it's literally just cutting off linemen. Maybe I'd probably do 1 Corn Gore, 2 Seekers. I keep the 2 Seekers in a spawn, and then do the rest linemen and see what else I can fit in that. And then you wouldn't have to worry about your linemen getting utterly destroyed on the line, because like the only way they're hitting you is if they blitz you. So yeah, I would totally do that. I think it'd be way more interesting. I like that idea. And 7 players too. 7 players. What's the maximum amount of players you can have in your roster? It's not 16.
No, I don't honestly know.
Okay. Probably something like 12. I could see 12. That'd be like a full team, regular team. Okay. Yeah, I'd be down to try it out. I don't want to play Dungeon Bowl.
They have.
I don't want to play Dungeon Bowl.
They have like some community rules for Dungeon Bowl where they standardize some stuff and make it way less like. Because like they're depending on like how you lay out the dungeon and stuff, like you can literally just walk up, find the thing in the chest, and you're like, oh okay, and then you're done.
Yeah,
like it can be over in 2 turns, or it can take an hour. Like they have some standardized like community stuff that people have done and that make that a bit more level.
Okay,
a bit more fun.
Do you want to play a game of sevens?
I would play sevens. Yeah.
You want to schedule a game this week to play sevens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this week might be a little tough.
Okay.
Maybe next week or maybe Sunday or something. But
I'm probably
all the rules for sevens are in what book is that? Death Zone.
Cool. Okay, well we'll look into that because sevens. Yeah, I don't know why I never thought about it. Probably because I'm not a huge fan of Blood Bowl, but yeah. Now that I sit here and actually think about sevens and how that could actually function and work, I think that
the game is much quicker.
Not only is it quicker, to me it sounds like it makes more sense. So, for instance, take like a dwarf team, for instance, right? And how abusive dwarf teams can be. Well, that's because you start so close to them. You have to start with 3 players on the line, so they're just gonna beat up on those players because they can.
Yeah,
I mean, now that you're starting away from them,
dwarves. I have to imagine are still.
Probably still
very,
really
very good because they have block.
Yeah, sure.
And no one else is going to have block.
Yeah, sure. I'm not saying they won't be good. What I'm suggesting is like you losing that kickoff skirmish at the beginning, right? Whoever's receiving the ball just gets to pummel people. That I think that makes a lot of changes. It definitely changes the momentum because whoever goes first at the half, they have the advantage at the half.
Well, right.
Like whoever goes first in the first half, I should say, has the advantage because they get to start the game. They get to make the first plays of the game, and if those first plays end with the removal of players, they've got momentum moving forward, right? And that momentum can even carry them into the second half. That's why you almost always go first. There's strategic reasons on why you might want to kick, but almost always do you want to receive. So. Yeah, it's but changing that out really changes how the game plays in my mind, and it really makes you think about how you might want to set up to make blocks and how you might want to move into tackle zones so you can make blocks your next turn. Yeah, that sounds much more appealing to me. much more. And obviously, I got to play it a little bit, but I don't.
Well, yeah, because starting so far apart from each other is a big shift.
Yeah,
it's a big change. Because
that would be the other thing against dwarves too. Like if you're starting, it's 3 squares from the line, right?
On both sides, so like
their linemen can't even get to you.
Yeah,
I mean they might be able to if they go for it twice, but like their blitzers,
I think it is 3 squares on both sides.
Their blitzers have to go for it to blitz you. Their troll slayers have to go for it to blitz you on opening. So like that
armored 10 though would be very valuable,
with smaller teams. Yeah. I could see how
with
removing
the thick
a player
skull on top of it,
or fouling and all that stuff still the same.
Yep, all identical. I mean, the rules for playing the game itself are all the same.
Okay.
Like the only thing that's different is really that it's like setup and team composition.
Dungeon Bowl probably has some neat caveats, but the
neatest thing about Dungeon Bowl is the team compositions.
Yeah, it's
like
a bunch
how
of
they're so different.
Yeah, it's much different from Blood Bowl, but my issue with Blood Bowl in a lot of ways is the randomness, and Blood Bowl seems to have more, or Dungeon Bowl seems to have more randomness to it.
Sure.
So, and that's just something.
On a beast team,
a beer boar on a. Oh, that must be Dungeon Bowl. It must be something for Dungeon Bowl.
I think the College of Beasts.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't like randomness for the sake of randomness in my games. I like randomness to serve some sort of mechanical purpose that the game that's necessary to play the game. So if you're just like, we're gonna add some stuff here, just add some random interaction, it's just gonna create too much chaos, and then it's not a strategy game anymore. It's just a dice game, and it's just whoever rolls lucky enough wins. And I don't think that's what people want. It might be what some people want, but
some people
I want a strategy.
Just want to
game.
watch the world burn.
Yeah. Fair.
No, I mean I get that. I'm more about strategy, but like
I want to think.
So you haven't played Demon Hunters. It's that Grey Knight.
Like XCOM yeah, Grey Knight XCOM. Yeah, Demon. It's like Demon Chaos Gate.
Chaos Gate.
Yeah,
Demon Hunters.
Yeah, Chaos Gate.
So in Chaos Gate, it's a turn-based tactical RPG, but there's basically no RNG.
Okay.
So when you are getting range of a target and you shoot,
you hit them.
You always hit. So like you have and the damage isn't variable. You can crit, so there's a roll there.
Okay, so there's a small,
but it's a little bit. So like you can crit, but like if so like if I'm gonna shoot you with a Stormbolter, I'm gonna do 3 damage. If you're in light cover, you'll -1. If you're in heavy cover, you'll -3. So I'll do 0 damage.
Okay.
But so like I've got to flank you, or I've got to do something else, or I've got to destroy your cover. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like. I've always appreciated XCOM more, where it's like I could just miss, and there's something about that randomness in there where I could either crit or I could miss or something that I appreciate more.
Sure,
because the thing about Chaos Gate, and don't get me wrong, I love Chaos Gate. It's a great game. Definitely recommend playing it. But there's like, it got to a point where before I begin my turn, I'm like, okay, so this guy has 12 health, so that means this guy has to hit him for 4, this guy has to hit him for 3, that guy has to hit him for 3, and then this guy for 3. So like I've got to math out all the numbers and everything,
and you're formulating a strategy.
Yeah.
So what the RNG does in XCOM is it adds tension.
Yeah.
That's what that does.
And also adds like lottery rolls where I'm just like, please hit.
That's okay. But there's a couple problems with it that I've been able to find. One problem is when you've made all the right decisions and you've got a 99% chance to hit.
You're right.
It feels like a 100% chance to hit, and then you miss, and it happens more than once per match, I guess I'll say, in XCOM is that you can have a 99% chance to hit multiple times in a single game.
Yeah,
and you miss.
I had 5 dudes shoot with 80% chance to hit and miss all of them.
And at a certain point, you're not adding tension anymore. You're adding frustration, which is bad. You don't want that. So that ports over to Blood Bowl
for some reason, there's a part of the frustration that I like.
Sure.
Because it's a give and take with, damn it, how could that not work? And holy crap, I can't believe that worked.
Right, exactly. So that's okay. But you want it.
I think you want to balance.
Exactly. You want it balanced. You don't want it happening too frequently, and I think it does happen too frequently in Blood Bowl. The other thing is in XCOM, you're playing against a computer opponent. Yeah. This one we have to factor in a human opponent too, and for XCOM, the player just like the computer's not worried about having fun. Mm-hmm. You only have to worry about the player having
Believe
fun.
me, when I play on the hardest difficulty, the computer's not worried about me having fun.
I mean, that's fair. Those difficulty levels can be brutal.
I have played so much of that game on the highest difficulty, and it is not an experience that I recommend to any human being.
Dude, I get
that is prone to frustration in any capacity.
I get you. I've played like all the Hearts of Iron stuff I've done it can just be it's like you're playing as one of these tiny countries. Mm-hmm. I was playing as Poland once, and I was like, all right, and as Poland, if you're going the historical route, you get invaded by Germany. And if Germany doesn't take you enough, if you survive Germany, right, and you're mm-hmm. still at war with them, the Soviet Union eventually declares war.
Oh, God.
So you're getting DP'd by the just two giant powers.
Two of the greatest powers in Europe.
Yeah, two biggest powers in Europe at once. And it can be a nightmare. So if you don't capitulate Germany in time, you just get destroyed. And at one point, like, I'm fighting off the Germans on one end. I've stopped the Soviet advance. And I'm just, like, yelling, like, Britain, come help me. Like,
they're like, no, we do not cross pond.
The cool thing is the neat thing is Soviet Union's kind of a paper tiger. Like they've got this giant army, but they've got all these like negative things because Stalin's murdered his like entire chief of his army. He's all dead. All of his generals were all dead. So his army's very terrible at fighting. So you can
There's just a ton of it.
Yeah, you can take it. You can take them at 100 to 1 odds, like or 100 to 1, like 1 to 100 men, or 1 to just like
crap.
I was playing as Finland, and they get even more awesome stuff. But like I was taking them at like 300 to 1. Like for every one Finnish guy that died, I killed 300 Russians. So it was nuts. But yeah, no, I've done crap like that in Hearts of Iron as well, and it's just like some of the odds you just stack yourself up against. It can be frustrating, intense, but that's also what makes it fun too. But
yeah, I get that for sure. Brad, do you actually like Blood Bowl?
Yes, I do. I actually do think I like Blood Bowl. I don't know if I like Blood Bowl in League format. I think that might be my least favorite kind of Blood Bowl, and I find that
really,
yeah. I see the allure to it, earning SPP and building teams and stuff. The problem is for me is the more SPP that gets injected, the more unbalanced the game feels. So like I think the game plays the best at 1 million gold. I think at 1 million gold, that's when the game is the most fun and the most interesting, because you don't have 5 rerolls and 13 players and all these extra skills. You've got 11 players, 12 players. You've got 2, 3 rerolls. You've got a finite amount of resources, and you got to try to make them all work the best they can, without having a huge team that works like a well-oiled machine, right? You have a team that works like a poorly oiled machine. Mm-hmm. I think that's what makes it interesting. You're running out of rerolls faster and stuff like that. There's more turnovers.
I think I like Blood Bowl best at right about, I'd say in the neighborhood of 1,300 team value, because you have
to me that's too high.
You have enough there to where you have all the positionals in your team, so the team is what it's meant to be. You have all the positionals, but you also have some skills spattered in to the point to where you can mold the team to your liking and to your play style preferences.
Yeah,
where there's enough movement in there to where you can, 2 people that have the same roster can make different teams.
That's
and I think that's important to where you've shaped it into where it's an extension of your playstyle?
I think Blood Bowl would be a better game if you saw more variance at 1,000,000 gold. I think if you saw a more diverse team generation at 1,000,000 gold, I think it would be a better game. So you didn't have the same dwarf players didn't make the same teams. Wood Elf players didn't make the same.
I think they need more positionals for that.
I think they do too.
And honestly, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
I was about to reference Warhammer Community in a post I made once, and just don't do that. Don't post there. It's a terrible place. The people that run it are not people you want to associate with.
Yeah. No, I don't think they'll ever do it. It's just one of the ideas I've had that I kind of wish they would do that they just won't do. But instead of releasing new Blood Bowl teams, I would like to see them release team expansion packs.
I had the idea once where it's an expansion pack where you've got like 4 or 5 teams in this box. It's like, hey, you get like these 2 dwarf players, you get these 2 human players, you get these 2 halfling things, and it's like all in this expansion box where like all you need to do is buy one of these, and these teams are now expanded.
Yeah,
you get some extra stuff for them.
I was thinking along the lines of just booster packs.
The size of a character pack.
Well, kind of, yeah, like the Korngor pack, right? The Korngor alignment pack
on Forge World?
Yeah, on Forge World, exactly.
Okay,
those packs that we bought to expand to have all of our positionals. Yeah, it's just something like that they could come out with. Like, we came out with 2 more positionals for every team, or we added a big guy to this team. Here's your big guy. Or just stuff like that. Like, just expand on the teams that you already have instead of coming out with new teams. And I'm not coming at them about, like, doing vampires or anything like that, because that's or Amazons or Norse, because those are all teams that they've already had that needed to recast. That's fine, but like before coming out with a Khorne team, they should have thought about maybe expanding some of these other teams that maybe could just have some extra positionals.
And I don't think they'll do it.
I don't think so either.
I think it'd be great for them to do.
Too. I think so too.
I would like that to be something they look into after Teams of Legend are finished.
Ugh. Yeah.
And after we get Slaanesh and Tzeentch.
Yeah, those will happen.
Those teams need to come.
Yeah, those will happen too. Yeah, we'll see those come. I really hope. Whenever they come out with new teams like that, it always makes me nervous because there seems to be a real balancing. GW's always had a real balancing problem, but Blood Bowl seems to exacerbate that problem.
Well, the biggest problem in Blood Bowl is that they don't care about balance.
Not as much, it seems.
Like the tournament scene has to really go off on its own to
pick up the slack.
To pick up that for sure.
Yeah, and that's kind of sucks a little bit.
That could be something that would happen next time. That could be cool. All right, but guys, it is after 10, so we are going to be
logging off.
We're signing off here. Appreciate you all hanging out. Appreciate the comments and interaction and everything. And we will not be back next week because it's Halloween. We'll see you guys the week after.
We may be here at some point next week, but not on Tuesday.
Not on Tuesday. All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Let's get a sevens game in.